Hi, my name is ZULAIKHA BINTI ZULKIFLI and my budget number is F25A2014. Okay, and I'm responsible for guiding you through part 1, the introduction and industry overview. Let us begin. Okay, first let us start with the background of our chosen industry. Founded right here in Malaysia back in 212 under the name My Taxi, Grab has rapidly transformed from a simple taxi booking application into Southeast Asia's leading super app. Today, Grab does not merely operate within a single market. Instead, it seamlessly integrates three massive digital pillars. Okay, first, ride-hailing, food and grocery delivery, and digital financial services via the GrabPay ecosystem. By interlocking these services into a single application, Grab has created an all-in-one consumer gateway that millions of Malaysians rely on daily. Let's dive deep into the microeconomic foundation of our case study. Why does a digital platform like Grab possess such immense market power? The answer lies in network effect and massive asset asymmetry. First, let's look at self-reinforcing cross-feedback. Unlike traditional physical asset, a platform value scale exponentially through indirect cross-site network externalities. This creates a powerful feedback loop. More passengers logging into the app directly reduce driver idle time. This optimization attracts more driver partners to register, which in turn drop user wait times and driving fare, pulling in even further consumer demand. This dynamic loop quickly pushes the platform away from the standard competitive framework straight into dominant firm territory. Because of this dynamic, we must classify Grab's market structure by looking at its distinct business segment rather than viewing it as single monopoly. In the mobility sector, e-hailing, Grab operated as a near monopoly following its landmark acquisition of Uber Southeast Asian asset in 2018. Grab secured a dominant position, controlling an estimated 94% of the market share in Malaysia. High exit and entry costs heavily restrict to competition here. Second, this dominance is protected by scale economies and sunk costs. Tech platforms are shielded by massive capital asymmetry and classic cost advantage barrier. Huge, irrecoverable upfront capital or sunk costs must be spent on server infrastructure, mapping APIs, and regulatory compliance. However, once this network is built, the marginal cost of matching and facilitating just one extra ride booking is effectively zero. Because of this dynamic, we must classify Grab's market structure by looking at its distinct business segment rather than viewing it as a single monopoly. In the mobility sector, e-hailing, Grab operates as a near monopoly. Following its landmark acquisition of Uber Southeast Asian asset, Grab secured a dominant position, controlling an estimated 94% of the market share in Malaysia. High exit and entry costs heavily restrict to competition here. In deliveries or GrabFood, it operates under oligopolistic rivalry. The market acts as a tight duopoly between GrabFood and Foodpanda, controlling over 90% of the market and engaging in intense strategic non-price competition using loyalty discount and subscription tiers. Finally, in payment and fintech or GrabPay, it operates under monopolistic competition. Grab competes against many alternative digital banks and e-wallet like Touch 'n Go and Boost, relying heavily on brand differentiation and cashback incentive to capture consumers. Moving on to slide 5, let us contrast Grab's dominant structure directly against a perfect competition framework to evaluate its pricing power. First, in terms of the number of sellers, perfect competition demands an infinite number of small, price-taking firms. For Grab, however, the market is highly concentrated, operating as a single dominant firm. Second, looking at service characteristics, instead of offering identical or homogeneous goods, Grab relies on heavily differentiated services built around localized, reliable, advanced app safety feature and customer loyalty tiers. Third, regarding barrier to entry and exit, perfect competition assumes zero friction. In contrast, Grab is heavily protected by high structural barrier, specifically intense network effect, high technological sunk costs, and complex regulatory compliance. Consequently, this fundamentally alter the pricing mechanics. Perfectly competitive firm, a passive price taker where price equal marginal cost. Grab, on the other hand, acts as a definitive price maker, using algorithmic search pricing markup that charge consumer well above marginal cost based on commuting hour. Finally, while perfect competition assumes symmetric information, Grab operates under a severe information asymmetry, where the platform completely controls supply-demand data through proprietary matching and pricing algorithm. Now, look at the bottom half of the slide where we quantify this market power using real-world data. According to official market studies from the Malaysia Competition Commission MYCC, Grab holding in cements its position as the undisputed market leader post-Uber merger, commanding an astronomical 94% market share in the Malaysian e-hailing landscape. This leaves alternative competitors, which include over 30 plus minor platforms such as Asia Ride, Maxim, and InDrive, fragmented into a tiny combined slice of just 6% market share. This massive lopsided distribution objectively indicates extreme market concentration and confirms that Grab holds substantial monopoly-like power in the mobility sector.
My name is FITRAH binti Muhammad SIDI. My meeting number is F25A1904. Today we will cover two key topics in platform market structure analysis. First, how market power affects economy efficiency and social welfare. Second, how super apps ecosystem work as multi-sided market coordinate. Let's start with the welfare cost of platform power. Look at the diagram here. The horizontal axis represent quantity Q and the vertical axis show price RM. We have three curves: demand D, marginal revenue MR, and marginal cost MC, from which market power sets output at the profit point where marginal revenue equal marginal cost. That quantity Q, at this quantity the price charged is P, which sits well above the marginal cost level MC. We measure how much price access using the linear index. The linear index with this formula L equal P MC with the price elasticity of demand. When demand is relatively inelastic, such as during peak time travel, this index value is, meaning price is market up even further remove marginal cost. This matching behavior creates allocative innovation and result in that with loss. DWL, the shaded red area on the graph, this area represents total economy values that is completely lost to society, because fewer transition tax plans then will happen at the social, efficient, competitive market level. Part 2, super app ecosystem. To the second sequence of the slide. Now, let's examine the operating model of platform like Grab. Describe her as the multi-seat super app ecosystem. As noted on the slide, Grab was founded originally as My Taxi. Today it functions as a digital multi-seat platform connecting three highly integrated market groups: mobility seeker, passenger, and food delivery, giving economy works, driving, and delivery partners. 3. Commercial partners, local food and beverage merchants and retailers This core role is This core role is ultimately market coordinates by lowering such costs, improving improves matching efficiency and streamlining transaction process. Okay. As a highly centralized market screens operator, making interaction meets with all sides after and center.
Hello, my name is SITI BALKIS binti MOHMAD F25B1818. Moving on to our real world evidence, let's look at the Grab review course from the 2021 to 2025 as shown in data. We can see a strong and steady upward trend over these 5 years. In 2021, the review started to $6, and by 2023, its efficiency increased to over 2.3 billion US dollar. This positive momentum continued all the way into review reached a peak of 3,020 million US dollars, proving the company's consistent financial expansion. Next, let's break down the gross profit by platform segment for the year 2025. Beside on the data, the delivery segment, which include GrabFood and MOHMAD, is the biggest contributor, making up 51.5% of the profit at 963 million US dollar. This is closely followed by the mobility segment at 44.1%, which bring in 825 million US dollar. Meanwhile, financial service contribute the remaining 4.4% at 82 million US dollar, showing where the core review is the begin generate. Finally, let's look at the gross monetization value or the GMV from 2022 and 2025 as a display in data. The graph clearly illustrates a stable and a continuous growth in a transaction volume over the years. We start at 19.9 billion US dollar in 2022, which then crossed the 20 billion mark the following years. By 2025, the GMV successfully climbed to 23.5 billion US dollar, reflecting increasing user activity and strong market demand. Grab used an ethical integrated-driven dynamic pricing system where fare automatically increased during high demand period like a peak hour and a heavy rain. This system led to the significant fare hikes in Malaysia back in 2022, which prompted the Ministry of Transport and APAD to request explanation. Additionally, Grab leveraged its massive market share to maintain steady commission fee, charging merchants at a rate that typically range from 50 to 30%. Malaysia is a Grab large market, contributing over 1.04 billion US dollar in revenue and holding the top spot for 4 consecutive years. This success is powered by massive network effect, serving 45 to 48 million monthly transacting users across South Asia, with about 2/3 of these users engaging with the 2 or more service. Grab ecosystem secure outstanding customer loyalty. Grab hold an overwhelming 95% of Malaysia e-hailing market, maintaining a near monopoly since acquiring Uber in 2018. Meanwhile, the food delivery sector operates as a duopoly where Grab leads with 55%, while Foodpanda remains a strong competitor at 35%. This duo dominance across both industry for Grab with a massive market influence, exponential bargaining power over vendor, and a strong control over serving pricing.
Assalamualaikum. My name is IMANINA binti AHMAD SAFARRUDDIN. My number matric is F25A2030. Today I would like to present about consumer behavior of Grab users. In consumer behavior of Grab users, we have factors influencing consumer behavior toward Grab service. For the first factor is purchase price. Users compare Grab fare with other transportation options. Affordable and reasonable pricing increase the likelihood of choosing Grab. For the second factor is purchase safety. Safety concerns include driver reliability, passengers' privacy, vehicle conditions, and insurance coverage. Higher purchase safety encourage users to use Grab service. For the third factor is purchase convenience. The Grab users talk about the Grab is easy booking through the mobile application and time-saving feature make Grab more convenient for users. For the next factor is purchase accessibility. Grab allows users to reach destination conveniently and efficiently. Easy access to transportation service influences users' decisions. The next factor is service quality. Reliable, responsive, and consistent service create positive customer experience and improve users' satisfaction. The next factor is customer satisfaction. Satisfied customers are more likely to use Grab service and recommend them to family and friends. For the lastly factor is brand image. A strong and positive brand image increase users' confidence in Grab and strengthen trust and loyalty toward the brand. For the next slide is local or national context of Grab in Malaysia. For the first is growth of the e-hailing industry. Grab has experienced unprecedented rapid growth in Malaysia and across Southeast Asia. For the next is widespread users among Malaysia. 80% of consumers prefer e-hailing service over regular taxi service. Grab is widely used for daily commuting, private car alternative, food delivery, parcel service, and more. For the next is contribution to employment and gig economy. Grab create flexible income opportunities for driver, delivery partner, merchant, and small business. More than 700% with disabilities were empowered through Grab platform to generate income. Next is government regulation and support. The e-hailing industry is regulated under the Land Public Transport Act 2010 and Commercial Vehicle Licensing Board Act 1987. Government support for digital economy initiative and partnership has contributed to the growth of the Grab in Malaysia. For the last is challenges and competition. Grab face competition from platforms such as Uber and Gojek in the region. Concern over market dominance and monopoly after acquiring Uber Southeast Asia business.
The entrepreneurial implication. First, high interest rates. New entrepreneurs need a large amount of capital, especially for technology development and service. In education, there are strong network effects, where users tend to stay loyal to well-established platforms. This makes it easy for a new player to enter the market. On the top of that, marketing costs are also very high as big companies spend heavily on promotion and discount to retain customers. Next is education changes. To complete activity, entrepreneurs need to stay out on the way is a focus on niche market such as halal product or local articles good. They can also apply hyper local branding, which means focusing on the needs of local communities. Lastly, offering lower commerce fee can attract more sellers to join their platform.
moving on the next slide, this shows the social economic impact and policy aspect. From a positive perspective, this industry creates gig job opportunities, allowing people to earn flexible income as a riders or online seller. It also helps MSMEs grow by enabling small business to sell their product nationwide. However, they are also have well concerns, especially within gig working such as limiting producting under EPF and SOCSO. In terms of policy and adaptability, the industry in Malaysia is monitored by MYCC under the Competition Act 2010 in the prevent monopoly. It also engaged with the country's digital economy goals. Lastly, companies must remain adapting while quickly adopting a new technology like AI and digital payment system to stay competitive.
For the last one on the slide is conclusion and recommendation. In conclusion, based on the analysis conducted, Grab demonstrates characteristics of both monopoly power and monopolistic competition in Malaysia's digital platform industry. The company continuous growth in revenue, GMV, market share, and diversified service reflect its strong market position. Consumer behavior analysis also show that factors such as pricing, safety, convenience, accessibility, service quality, customer satisfaction, and brand image significantly influence users' decision to choose Grab. Although Grab contribute positively to employment opportunities, innovation, and Malaysia's digital economy, concern regarding market concentration, pricing practice, and barriers to entry remain relevant. Next, for recommendation, must improve pricing transparency to enhance consumer trust and understanding of such pricing mechanisms. Second, continuous investing in technology and service innovation to improve customer satisfaction and operational efficiency. That's all.